Hello Aries and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tessa. You're watching Tessa's Tarot. This is going to be an Oracle and Tarot reading for Aries Ascendant for the month of January 2021. So we are finally getting into the new year. We're finally closing off 2020 and entering into a new beginning. Okay, we are officially in Capricorn season. We are in the winter solstice and we are headed straight towards the new year. Okay, so you might be watching this video before we hit January, which is totally fine. So the reason why these tarot readings are gonna be specifically for your ascendant sign. I definitely recommend you watching your ascendant sign, is because I am going to be doing this reading based on the natal chart for the ascendant. Okay, so I'm going to be going through all the different astrological figures that are happening right now in our solar system, in our sky, and just kind of let you know what house it's going to be transiting in your natal chart. So if you are an Aries ascendant, whatever zodiac sign was in the house that you were born in, that is where what is occurring right now, and in January, that's the area where it's going to be transiting. Okay, so we're starting January 2021, January 1st. We're kicking the month off with the sun in Capricorn. Okay, and that's going to be transiting your 10th house, which is your house of work, career, and authority figures. And I'll go more kind of like into detail once I actually start pulling the tarot cards about where things are coming up in which particular houses there's going to be a little bit more focus on for you this month. The moon is going to be in Cancer in your 4th house of home, family life, and your roots. Mercury is going to be in Capricorn in your 10th house of work, career, and authority figures. Venus will be in Sagittarius in your 9th house of long distance travel, higher learning, and philosophy. Mars will be in Aries in your first house of self, ego, and self-expression. Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct in Aquarius in your 11th house of networking, social dynamics, and innovative ideas. And Uranus will be in Taurus in your 2nd house of personal possessions, finances, and value. Now, as the month progresses in January, on January 6th, we're going to have Mars entering Taurus of your personal possessions, finances, and values. On January 8th, Mercury will be entering Aquarius in your 11th house of networking, social dynamics, and innovative ideas. January 8th also, Venus is going to enter Capricorn in your 10th house of work, career, and authority figures. On January 13th, there's going to be a new moon in Capricorn in your 10th house of work, career, and authority figures. January 14th, Uranus is going to go direct in Taurus, so it was retrograde and then it's going to go direct, and this is in your 2nd house of personal possessions, finances, and value. On January 19th, Vesta, which is the asteroid that is associated with like fertility, with kind of like the nurturing of the home life, it's going to go retrograde in Virgo in your 6th house of everyday routines, health, and just kind of routines, daily jobs, the practicalities of your daily life. On January 19th, the sun is going to enter Aquarius in your 11th house of networking, social dynamics, and innovative ideas. January 28th, there's going to be a full moon in Leo in your 5th house of creativity, children, and romance. On January 30th, Mercury will go retrograde in Aquarius in your 11th house of networking, social dynamics, and innovative ideas. So this is just kind of an overview for the month ahead for you and in what area of your life these specific transits are taking place, okay? So before I kind of like dive into, you know, what exactly we're going to see unfolding here with the tarot and the oracle, I just wanted to give you a general overview of what is coming with astrology in the month ahead. And when I do the tarot and the oracle reading, we're just gonna see what area is going to be the most important for you to focus on, okay? And this is spiritual guidance. This is about self-growth. My channel is about getting to know yourself better, you know, kind of trying to navigate where you want to put more of your attention, getting some more insight, so you can reflect a little bit more about the direction you want to take, the steps you want to take in the journey ahead, okay? We are starting off a new year, and with a new year, I decided to use the Enchanted Map Oracle. So we're going to be using the Enchanted Map Oracle because I feel like it works super, super well with, you know, kind of figuring out the direction that your life is going in, like the path that you're taking and what's going to lie ahead of you, okay? So the astrological transits that are taking place, this is kind of going to be used more as a reference in terms of how it's going to relate to the tarot. And that's why I didn't really get into a lot of detail about what they mean, because that can be kind of like a whole video in itself, okay? All those different transits can be a whole video in itself. But if you do want to read more about what those transits mean, the app that I use is Time Passages on my phone. I use that app to look at my own personal birth chart and how the planets are transiting through my chart. So for the Enchanted Map Oracle, we have Gentle Gardener. Okay. So Gentle Gardener is really about looking to see, like having patience with yourself, okay? Needing to have patience with yourself to really look to see where you want to spend your time and where you want to nurture your energy, because Aries, you do have a lot of you know, you have a lot of that go-getter energy taking place, especially, well, right now Mars is in Aries in your first house, but Mars will be entering Taurus. Mars will be entering Taurus on January 6th. So this is going to be kind of like a refocusing of your attention. And instead of putting the attention on you and putting all that, you know, fiery, driven, kind of aggressive attention on yourself and the things that you're going through, you're going to start channeling that energy more towards your finances, your possessions, and just kind of like what you have going on in your world right now, what it is you really value, how you can turn that into something stable. So with the Gentle Gardener over here, this is really kind of about, you know, like watering your garden, you know, like really kind of taking care of and figuring out what you have under your belt, what's in your possession, what it is that you value, and really kind of focusing in on that, okay? And with Uranus going direct in Taurus as well, it's going to be kind of like a reevaluation of things of that nature, okay? A kind of reevaluation of your possessions and your finances and things like that. So for another card, we have the Magical Map Shifter. Okay, the Magical Map Shifter. So yeah, so this is really going to be about kind of like relocating, I feel like relocating your energy, kind of maybe shifting gears a little bit, and shifting your attention into other areas of your life so you can start making certain things happen for yourself, okay? Especially with all this Aquarius energy that's going to start taking place with Capricorn in your 10th house. The light is really going to start shining in reference to your work situation, the career, the path that you want to go down, or the path that you're in right now, things coming to light. There's going to be a little bit more communication, maybe networking. Maybe you're going to start talking to more, when Mercury enters Aquarius, you're probably going to start talking to some more people about, you know, maybe different jobs. Maybe you're going to start reaching out and asking about different things that are going on, maybe different opportunities. Different opportunities that you see for yourself, that you want for yourself, and especially with the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius in your 11th house as well, which is the house of networking and social dynamics and innovative ideas. You know, you might have some sparks of insight, some ideas that come to you, and you might want to start communicating and talking to people about that, and trying to just kind of like get an idea of what's out there. Like, what's out there in the world for you? What are the different things that you can do? You know, what are the different, jobs you can take on? What are the different opportunities, the different career paths, you know, especially if you are thinking about changing your path. So if you are in a job right now, if you do have a job right now, you're probably going to start thinking about switching your path, switching jobs, switching direction. Maybe you're realizing that the current job that you have is not exactly where you want to go. There's stuff that's kind of coming into light. Maybe you're feeling a little restricted in your current job. You're not really able to express yourself the way that you want to. And this might become really, really important to you, especially so let's see. So especially right now with Venus in Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius is very much a kind of like wanting to experience different things in life, like really being open to different experiences, to learning about different people, things like that. When Venus enters Capricorn, it might start to feel a little bit more restricting, and when that happens, the light is really going to start to shine on, you know, maybe your current work situation or the authority figures that you have in your life, and it might kind of start to feel like, okay, well, I don't really know if this is where I want to be right now. Okay, and then for the third oracle card, we have Compass. So this is totally about setting out on a new path. This is totally about the universe just like pushing you in the direction that you're meant to go. Okay, in the direction that you're meant to go. And because Aries, your rising sign, because your natal chart for Aries rising people, for Aries ascendant people, your birth chart is the closest to the natural chart, to the natural zodiac in the natal chart. Because Aries originally rules the first house, Taurus rules the second, Gemini rules the third. And for Aries ascendant, for the most part, it falls pretty much in line with those houses. It might be off by a little bit. It really just depends on what house system you use. If you use the Placidus house system, it might be a little bit like different. If you use the whole sign system, it'll pretty much be, you know, first house Aries, second house Taurus, etc., etc. So with this compass over here, like, I'm really seeing this as kind of like the universe wanting to push you in a new direction, okay? It's really wanting to push you in a new direction. It's wanting to inspire you. It's wanting you to see that there are new possibilities, that there are new things that are happening around you. There are going to be doors opening. There is going to be a path for you that is going to be more in line with what it is that you really truly want for yourself, especially in reference to your own passionate, fiery energy, creative energy, and very, you know, like paving that, you know, getting started on paving that new path forward. Okay. And if you are kind of wanting to stick with the current job that you're in, this might be a really good time to maybe like share some more innovative ideas to really kind of show your creativity and show what you can do and what you can bring forward to make the job environment and to make where you're at more more innovative and more forward thinking, more progressive, things like that. Okay, so for the tarot, we have the Nine of Wands, okay, and this is the moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of shadow work through this period, okay, there's going to be some shadow work, so there's going to be some like, you might need to kind of like push through some of the energies that are going to be taking place this month, especially in regards to your own shadow, okay, so there could be some maybe some things that you haven't fully dealt with, some underlying energies that are still kind of hidden. It could have a lot to do with the moon in Cancer, and that's transiting your 4th house of home, family, and your roots. Okay, so maybe some childhood experiences, some things that are maybe like buried a little bit deeper down. So this might, it might feel like there's maybe something inside of you that's holding you back from taking action in a certain direction. And this might be something that you'll have to work through, but it looks like you're going to get through it, okay? It looks like you're going to get through it. So we have the 8 of Wands, which is Mercury in Sagittarius. So this kind of talks about like just kind of like letting go. This talks about just, so maybe you like confide in a friend, maybe you confide in a colleague, or there's somebody in your life that you communicate, that you just kind of like share your feelings with, if you allow yourself to just kind of like open up and let go. And this is what can bring that networking into your life, reaching out to other people, talking with other people about some personal stuff that's going on, and just kind of like allowing those doors to open. It can really, really bring in a strong community dynamic. Things like that bring in opportunities. People, see, that you're open, and, they see what you're going through. They offer support, okay? So this can be really, really important, especially for your overall development. And especially if there are some things that you've been harboring inside that you haven't 100% dealt with maybe in the previous months. Sometimes we can't get through all of the, work that, we should be doing during specific zodiac seasons. Every single month, every single zodiac season kind of has a degree of, there's different lessons that we can learn in each of these months and things that we can learn about ourselves, okay? So this communication though, as long as you're just kind of as long as you're open, you can literally push through anything. So anything that you're going through, any personal issues, anything that you haven't really dealt with, if you like open your heart and I know that sometimes it's easier said than done for some people, but it can really, really open a lot for you in so many different ways, not just in reference to community and work and stuff like that, but just on a personal level as well. On an emotional level, like just feeling like you're part of a community that cares and that is, listening to you and willing to offer support. That's humongous. And that's really something that, I think is going to be important in the years ahead. And that's something that we really need right now as well, is to support each other and offer that support. Okay, so this is interesting that we have all Sagittarius cards coming out, because this so represents kind of like, this last, like, even though we're in Capricorn season, we're still in December. So I keep thinking that these cards are kind of representing the end of December here. So this could be like all these different things you might be feeling as we wrap up the year right now. Because the next card, we have the 10 of Wands, which is another Sagittarius card. This is Saturn in Sagittarius. So we have Nine of Wands, Eight of Wands, Ten of Wands, and these are all Sagittarius cards, okay? So I feel like there are things that you're still kind of holding on to from Sagittarius season, okay? Let's just put it that way. There's definitely some things that maybe like you haven't completely, released during Sagittarius season. You're probably feeling a lot of burdens right now because 2021 is right around the corner. Maybe you're still not really sure, like, you don't really feel like you have your shit together. You feel like you have a lot on your shoulders. You feel like you should know what you're going to do next month. I think a lot of people are kind of feeling that right now. Like they're feeling the pressure because 2020 was such a like ridiculously like out of the black hole year, like what the hell, So I think a lot of people are feeling pressured to make 2021 like something, to make it productive, to make it better. Like we need to have a plan, we're in a new year, we need to have a plan. Don't be so hard on yourself. Trust me, people are still figuring things out as they're going. We are like, people are still learning as we're going. Everybody is still kind of like, going through the process of kind of like figuring things out, like, okay, well, wow, okay, so now we're entering a new year. Okay, what, everybody's still a little bit on edge. We're trying to learn the lessons of 2020. We're trying to really figure out what it all meant, what's coming. Now there's this whole like Age of Aquarius thing showing up everywhere, and we're entering into a new era and nobody really knows what to expect. But in all honesty, like all it really comes down to is just you knowing yourself and you being honest with yourself and you being authentic with yourself. Okay, you don't have to have like everything together off the bat. The most important thing is that like you understand yourself, that you understand your own emotions, what you're going through, and just like being able to kind of share that with others, because believe me, whatever you might be going through, I promise you other people are probably feeling the same thing that you're feeling. So it's really just kind of like about, I think the most important thing is going to be about understand, like, establishing like a community dynamic, like understanding that it's okay to, reach out to people and just kind of like share your story, like, and, just start networking and opening up, and sharing your story, because yeah, okay, Aquarius energy is very independent, it's very individualistic and innovative, and you probably think you're supposed to have like these ideas, but I mean, ideas don't just come, like you don't just create something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like there is an element of connecting that needs to happen. There's a need for people to start sharing and talking and communicating with each other about the things that they're thinking about and about maybe the ideas that they have or the things that they're feeling. Okay? Because that's where it starts. You have to start with you. You have to start with yourself. Okay? Okay, so for the next card, we have the Knight of Cups. This is Pisces energy. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so maybe there's like, maybe you have somebody in mind that you want to move towards. Maybe you have somebody in mind that you want to talk to, that you want to open up to. It could be somebody of the opposite sex. I mean, it could be the same sex too, but maybe somebody you have more of like an emotional connection with or a romantic connection with. Maybe somebody you have a crush on. There could be someone in your community or in your surroundings that you feel that maybe you can move towards to, talk about these things with, to open up about these things with, So this is what I'm feeling over here, okay? And this would probably fall into like your third or your fifth house. So let's see here. So yeah, so on January 28th, we do have the full moon in Leo. So you could feel inspired around that time. Okay. Or you'll feel really creative, because the Knight of Cups isn't just about like romance. It's not just about love. It could also be very much about creativity. Like when I think of the Knight of Cups, I don't know, did I just say page? When I think of the Knight of Cups, I also think of like a poet or a musician or a writer, like somebody who's just really creative. Okay, so I mean, you can also totally channel that emotional energy. You can channel these different things that you're going through and that you're feeling into like a new project. You can channel it into artwork. You can channel it into some innovative idea that you have. So there's so many different ways that this can be channeled, okay? Okay, and then we have the moon. So the moon does talk about like some secrets. Maybe there are some things that you really don't want to share. There are some things you want to keep to yourself. You're not really about just kind of like opening that whole, like opening a big Pandora's box and just kind of laying it out all out on the table. But I mean, that's totally fine. That's up to you. You know, you're in control of your own life. But I find it interesting that the moon came out right after I said like the full moon. So with the full moon happening in Leo on the January 28th, this is going to be in your 5th house of creativity and romance and children. But then with the moon card coming out over here, it could, you know, I do kind of see this more as, well, maybe it'll be better for you to channel that energy into something creative, okay? Because, you know, if you're trying to approach somebody else and you're trying to approach somebody else, but you're holding back, okay? And you're not really sharing everything and you're kind of holding back, it might not like go the way that you want it to. It might be a little, like off center. So that's why I'm saying it could be beneficial for you, especially being a very creative and inspired and spiritual zodiac sign. It could be very beneficial to channel that energy into a project or into art, or something that could really, you know, shine, like show your personality and show who you are in a really dynamic and interesting and bright way. Okay, and then for the final card over here, we have the 7 of Cups. So this is Venus in Scorpio. Ooh. Okay, so the full moon, I feel like the full moon might definitely trigger a lot of creativity in you, okay? I think this full moon in Leo is gonna trigger you to like, I think you're gonna think very romantically. It's gonna trigger a lot of like romantic feelings inside of you, and you're gonna have like your eyes set maybe on multiple people, different, you know, objects of your desire are going to shine really bright, and you're really going to be tempted to like flirt and you know, kind of be like childish and playful and maybe a little like romantic, or a little just kind of, you know, that Leo energy, just you know, like very brave and flirtatious, you know, very flirtatious. So this is kind of like so this is what I'm seeing for January 2021. I will be doing a mid-January reading as well, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, Aries, this is going to be your reading kicking off the new year. So I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate if you enjoyed this reading. Subscribe and stay tuned for more. Have a good night.